Welcome to Soul Expression Podcast, the podcast for your soul. With me, I'm whoever you want me to be, but you can call me Brian, because I really don't give a shit what you call me, because I know who I am. But today, I want to talk about Podfest. This week, I went to Podfest. And if you're not sure what Podfest is, it's a podcasting conference for podcasters, essentially. But it's a great networking opportunity and a great opportunity to gain knowledge about podcasting and all the different aspects of podcasting. And I just want to talk about my experience over the past 2 years that I've been going. This is my second year, and yeah, I'm essentially family. Y'all better count me as family because I'm coming back, and because I just love the experience that I've had from the first moment I walked through the doors. I felt so comfortable with being there. It's amazing to have that type of feeling to someone that you've never been, especially around a lot of different type of people. And when you think about podcasts and you think about Joe Rogan, Shannon Sharp, all these big name people who like to have drama and things that are I don't even know what to call it. Just not what I expected from my first experience at Podfest or my second. Because with those type of podcasts being out there, those big podcasts, you wouldn't expect to meet so many podcasters who one of their main focuses is helping people heal, helping people become their best version of themselves, and just helping people overall. You truly wouldn't expect that when you think about podcasts, because what you see on TV or on the internet, I should say, from podcasters isn't always that. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of different things, but the people that you meet at Podfest are completely different types of podcasters than you would normally associate podcasting with, because, like I said, these people are so knowledgeable, and it's it's like a family atmosphere almost. Not almost, it is. Because, like I said, I feel like I'm family now, and this is only my second time. So if you are a new podcaster, if you've been podcasting for years, if you're thinking about starting a podcast and not sure what you want to do, this would be a great opportunity for you to come and gain tons of knowledge. Because besides the people, the seminars are excellent. Like there are seminars on growing your audience, using AI, adding comedy to your podcast. Uh, I could go on. There's so many different avenues of podcasting that's out there, and they bring it all together in one space for you to be able to just gain a true understanding of what podcasting is and what the future holds for podcasts. Because podcasting will be the new form of media. I guarantee it. It's going to be the new form of media because people are tired of what the news has to bring or what the controlled media is always presenting to us. And a lot of times it's narratives that we may not necessarily agree with. And podcasters give you an on the ground aspect of what's going on. It's just like with social media in general. And with that being said, make sure you check me out on TikTok, Soul Expression, Instagram, Soul Expression, Facebook, here on YouTube. And you can also, if you like listening to podcasts and you like the audio, my podcast is also streams on most streaming platforms, Soul Expression Podcast. So check me out, follow me, and I'll definitely keep you entertained with some of the shit I got to say. So I want to personally talk about my experience. The first day, it's just about getting to know people in the seminars. And I went to a few seminars, and I really wish I could have went to more. But like I said, the people that are there are so engaging that a lot of times I miss seminars that I wanted to attend because I was talking with people. From the time I walked through the door, I was talking to someone about a podcast, about what's going on with them, just about anything. And for me, I love that because I am not a surface level person anymore. Like I can indulge in sports conversation, I can indulge in reality TV conversation, I can indulge in what's going on in the news, but that's not what I do, and that's not the type of conversations I look for. And a lot of times, it's not the type of conversations that I have because I can at once I was aligned with that, and I could have those conversations. But since I removed myself from those spaces, a bit more difficult for me to engage in those conversations. And I don't want people to seem like I'm just whatever with those conversations, because I'm not. It doesn't resonate with my soul anymore. And at Podfest, I found a lot of people that resonated with my soul. And my main intent, I had two things that I really wanted to focus on this year. And one was gaining as much knowledge as I could from the seminars and from the people. And the next was to actually interview people as I went through my journey there. Unfortunately, I didn't get to interview as many people as I wanted to. I only got two. I'm here with Becca at Podfest. So, Becca, tell us what your podcast is about.
Yes, my podcast is called Bad Bosses, Great Leaders, and it's about inspiring young leaders, encouraging current leaders to be their best selves and make sure that we're all leveling up and growing together.
Sweet. So what inspired you to want to do that?
Well, I have a lot of folks that I have heard and chatted with personally, mentees, colleagues that all have a bad boss story or experience, and the podcast is not about bashing our bosses. We're not here to call anyone out. We're really here to help inspire each other to lead with purpose and create environments where people feel supported and secure in that space so that they can do their best work and are set up for success. And so after having these conversations and feel really called to help create that space and help train up other people, I wanted to start a podcast so that I could not just get the information out myself, but also highlight other leaders who are doing really great work and sharing what they're doing with their teams so that we can share that information and practical experience.
CX Passport, which is
I get the CX connection.
Yeah, customer experience and Dash and Travel Talk. I've been doing that for about 4 years.
Travel Talk?
Dash and Travel Talk.
Okay.
Been doing it for about 4 years. Episode 200 comes out next week.
Wow, congratulations.
I'm excited about that. The one that's a little more fun, though, is the one you met my wife, Clancy. Clancy and I do The Loud and Quiet together, which is a podcast about being empty nesters. And episode 69 dropped yesterday. Today.
Okay.
No, it dropped today.
So how long have you been empty nesters?
For 1.5 years. We started the podcast when we became empty nesters. And it was a way, we looked at each other and said, how are we going to stay married once the kids are gone? And my wife said, let's do a podcast. Which most folks would say, that's not a really good idea to stay connected. But it has worked really well for us. We've had a lot of fun, had a great community of other empty nesters that have been following along on the journey with us. It's been fun. Yeah.
But the reason behind that is because I would start talking with someone and we would get so in-depth into conversations that I didn't think about pulling out my phone and my little mic and ramming it in their face, because we were so immersed in conversation that I just had to continue on with the conversation as is. And when I say I met tons of people and had beautiful conversations, the whole process, chef's kiss. And I'm a chef, so I could do some shit like that. And it really means something. It ain't just no bullshit. I went to school for that shit. Ain't bullshit. But anywho, the people I met, I don't want to say too many. I don't want to say names because there's so many people that I came across. A lot of y'all, I forgot your name, and it's nothing against you. That's just who I am. You tell me your name, I might forget that motherfucker right after you said it, and I'd be a bit embarrassed. Like, what you say your name was? But a lot of people, I remember your face and I remember our conversation. So just know that. I may not remember your name, but your conversation is stuck in a place where it's always going to be there. So just know that. And so now that I've told you somewhat about what Podfest is and some of the things that go on, I want to talk to you about my personal experience there. Because like I said, I was there to just gain knowledge, in which I gained tons of knowledge from people from all walks of life. And that's what it's about, coming together. But I want to talk about me finding myself there. Because like I said, it felt like family there. It felt like people that I would want to stay connected with for eons to come. And even though our souls are connected there, in the physical world, it's different. So I did some things that really I wouldn't say out of character for who I am at this point. The old version of me, they were out of character because I wouldn't have done certain things. Like they did a karaoke night. And last year when I went, I did not do karaoke. I did not attempt to do karaoke. I just enjoyed the people and enjoyed the conversation that I had. But this year, something called me to get up on that stage. And anyone who knows me, they know I've had a tendency to be very shy and reserved because I've never performed on stage. I've never got up in front of people and did anything like that besides doing a presentation in school or something here and there. And when I tell you each time I was scared as shit doing it because I was afraid people would judge me. And because people do that, they judge you just off of if you mess up something, they'll judge you. And I don't want to be judged. But at this point in life, I was like, fuck it. So, and when I tell you the people that perform there, some of those people, you would think that they practice at home. Was your ass practicing at home so you could do that? Because some of y'all did fucking outstanding, for real, outstanding performances, and to go up after people who have had performances like some of them did, you would be scared shitless. But honestly, when I signed my name on that paper and turned in, I was not nervous at all. I was a bit upset because they didn't have the song I wanted. I wanted Mary Jane by Rick James. That's one of my favorite songs. I probably could sing the whole thing word for word, but they didn't have that. Y'all need to get y'all shit together on that. Mary Jane. Come on, man. So I chose Super Freak, which is a song I know some of the words to, but not as much as I thought. But I still killed that shit. For real, I killed that shit. I was standing up there like, she's all right. I sang that shit, but it was just the fact that I didn't know the words, so that kind of threw me off some. But when I got up on the stage, I was not nervous. There was not a bit of nervousness in my body, which I was surprised about. And another thing that threw me off, people know me and know who I am now. I'm deep into my spirituality and things of that nature. And signs, I see signs and synchronicities in damn near everything I do. And one of the signs that told me I was on the right path to what I was doing when I got on the stage and they put the song up there, the time of the song told me everything I needed to know. The song was 3 minutes and 33 seconds. If you know numerology, you know numbers, you know about that type of shit. So when I saw that, that kind of threw me off too, because I was like, shit, wow, these numbers up here. So and so that threw me off the whole thing. So that really messed up my performance. But like I said, I still killed that shit. And if you didn't like it, stop watching. But yeah, so I got up there, I sang, I did what I did, and for me being who I am, to step out of my shell, that was me stepping into something that honestly I never thought I would do. I've always wanted to, because I think that I'm a great performer. I think that I'm a pretty goddamn good singer, you ask me. Want me to sing for you right now? I am not going to do that because I'm talking about Podfest where we had a great time, and y'all should come out if you ever get the chance. But that was a moment for me that let me know that I am not the same. And I will never be the same because next year I'm gonna get back on that stage next year, but this time I'm gonna sing a song that I know the words to, so y'all could know I ain't bullshitting. And I'm gonna practice like some of y'all. Don't tell me you ain't at home practicing because y'all was too goddamn good. Tell me you ain't practicing. I know your ass was practicing, but it's all good. I got you. I'm gonna be there next year and I'm gonna sing my shit. You dig? But yeah, overall, the experience itself was for me a blessing, and that's not even the only experience I had as far as the universe knowing where I needed to be and things being put in perspective and in the right space. Because I wanted to start a new podcast, and it's a different podcast than what I do. I do another podcast called Two Cigars in a Blunt every Friday at 8. Check us out, YouTube, Facebook, and we do an after show called Ashed Out right after that on Fridays. The time may be different, but the Two Cigars and Blunt is more of a, we know what we're going to talk about. We have things that's laid out because it's more of a current events type of podcast. But Ashed Out is more of a free for all. And when I say we be going off the goddamn chain sometimes we be needing to cut ourselves off because we be going in. But and also the guys that I do that podcast with, they have another podcast called the Better Than Sex Sports Podcast, which you can find on Facebook and YouTube, and they do it at Wednesdays on 7. So check them out and support them, support me, and support anyone who's doing something positive, because that's what it's all about, is us doing positive things and growing. So the way the universe works, like I said, I was trying to I want to start another podcast, but everyone I know, they're not like my mind, the way it works is completely different. So I ran across a couple of guys, and the way I met the second of the two was only the universe. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to get some things done, because all these years I had my podcast, 4 years, and it's never been on Apple. And I always couldn't figure out why. So I had some help. Someone helped explain what I need to do. So I was sitting down getting that done. And this young lady, she comes and sit next to me, and it's a podcasting conference, so we start talking about the podcast, and hers is about, like I said, everyone's on this healing thing and just helping people grow from within. And so we're talking about that, and I'm telling her about mine, and we just have a conversation. And she's like, "There's this guy I met at karaoke last night that you need to talk to." And I remember seeing him walking around, because I'm people watching. I'm always watching people, because I like to see how people move and interact with each other. So I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I need to find this guy and meet him. And I shit you not, within 5 to 10 seconds of me saying that, he walks right up in the area where we were. And we sit down and have a deep conversation. Like I said, there wasn't one conversation that I had with someone that wasn't a deep conversation, and wasn't uh, more than, most conversations lasted 10 to 15 minutes, if not longer. And for him to come in that moment, it was just the universe's way of saying, hey, you ask for what you want, we're going to give it to you so you can make these things happen. Because that's just something that I feel called to do, is just have a different type of podcast and talk about some shit that usually is not talked about. It's not necessarily even conspiracy theories. There may be some of that, because me being who I am, I don't even believe in conspiracy theories at this point anymore. I just believe that it is what it is, and you're supposed to enjoy life and love yourself and love everyone else. So it's an opportunity that 2 years ago when I first went, I never expected as much as I've received just from these few days of talking and meeting with people. And like I said, I'm not the greatest at reaching out. I'm very to myself, which is sometimes can be a detriment, because I miss out on being able to connect with people. So if you're seeing this, I'm trying to reach out because I remember you, but to not reach out, and we're gonna make some things happen, because that's what this is all about, is growing and spreading our knowledge and spreading who we are. So just know, if you get a chance to attend Podfest, I implore you to take that chance and get out there and mingle with the people. Because I talked to endless number of people, and every single person, I took away something. I took away some knowledge. I took away a piece of them. Because when I talk to people, I'm not talking to your physical body. I see right through that. I'm only talking to your soul. And when I do see you, I see your inner child. I see you as a little child. I like to see people I like to think of people what they would look like as a child, because that's who we truly are inside. We're still those children, but we're just a bigger version of a little more hairier than, but yeah, we still the same. We still have the same passions and the same love for life. And that's what I see in people. And, you know, I saw that all over the place. I saw all the passion, all the love, like all the energy. It was all there at one time. And that space is a great space for you to grow and just help you get a direction in what you want to do with what you're doing. Because there's all people on every spectrum of podcasting, in the industry, entertainment, and authors, fucking I can't even think all the shit that they had there, but it was a lot. It was so much that I didn't even get to do everything I wanted to, and because I signed up to do a lot, but I just didn't, because every time I would get going, I would come across someone and we would have brilliant conversation that would just leave me in awe and leave me thinking as I walked through it, and I would bump into somebody else and the same thing just constantly kept happening over and over. So just know when you go, be prepared to have great conversation. Be prepared for people to make you think. Just be prepared. And like I said, I didn't want to shout out any specific people, but I do want to give a shout out to Paula P at Talk Shit with P. You can find her on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those sites. She has made my Podfest experience top notch because the type of person she is, she's a bundle of love and joy. And I think she has a superpower where she can fucking disappear and appear anywhere she wants. Because one minute she'll be there talking, the next minute she gone, but in the next minute she right back next to your ass, and you're like, what in the fuck did you just do, Paula? And she might have like 3 or 4 people with her when she come back around because that's just the type of person she is. And she, confirmation, y'all know about that. She just made the experience so much more great for me personally. Because like I said, I'm a shy and timid person, and seeing how she moves, that definitely gives me confidence and motivation to get up out of my shell and to interact with people. And like I said, I talked to endless amounts of people, and I had conversations with people that ended too soon and some that I wish could have kept going. And don't worry, we're going to finish those conversations. It ain't over. So just know when you see me or you hear from me, we're going to finish them conversations because I enjoyed myself. There's some stuff that I forgot. I remember the conversations, but some of the information that was presented, because it was just coming in so quickly and I was trying to take it all in. It's like being under a waterfall. It just keeps coming down and you don't want to move. You just want to keep gaining that knowledge. And that's what it was all about. So I'll say this one last time. If you haven't been to Podfest, if you have a podcast, if you're thinking about podcasting, if you've been doing this shit for 40 years, even though that shouldn't have been around 40 years, you need to make your way there just to enjoy the atmosphere and the experience of the people. So that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to talk about my experience and what you can experience, or maybe what you would want to try and experience. It could be a life-changing experience if you're really willing to go out and do what you need to do. So until next time, I'll get up with you. And make sure you follow me. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I stream on all platforms for the most part. Still working on some of them. Soul Expression Podcast. Check me out, and I'll get up with you next time. Peace.